Hey, everybody. Welcome in. I want to let you guys know I have a very special guest. He's one of my most favorite people in the world, Mr. Todd Wyatt. He is an old sergeant from the Florida Keys that I worked with for many years. I was down there for 8 years. And I'll let him tell you guys a little of himself.
Hello.
Welcome in.
Thank you.
So there's people watching, and then I don't know if you can see the chat.
I can't.
Oh, okay. Well, there's Angie Glover. Angie Glover's in the house.
Oh my God. Hey, Ange.
Angie's in the house. Missy, how are you guys doing? I wish you could see the chat, because people can sit there and chat and they'll ask you questions.
Is there something I need to do?
I don't know. There should be a little thing there that you can. It'll say view chat or see the chat.
I can see you. Thought I'm recording. I'll hit the chat button.
Yeah, you can hit the chat button. You should be able to, and it should
Comments.
pop
Okay.
up there on the side.
I just hit comments and some things
Yep.
came up. There's Angie.
So they have all heard about you, but I thought you might want to tell them a little bit about yourself. All that good stuff.
I got the job with the sheriff's office in Monroe in November of 1989. I moved down here from West Virginia for this job. At that time, the job was in communications. So I spent a total of 3 years as a dispatcher. The last year was attending the Miami-Dade Police Academy part-time and working dispatch at night. Got hired on at my graduation by Sheriff Roth in September of '92. And from that point, I worked patrol, and then I was about 6 years in narcotics, and about almost 5 years as a sergeant. I then retired in 2017, December 2017, after Irma destroyed pretty much everything down there. So.
Yeah. Well, I was what he inherited as soon as he took his sergeant stripes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It was great actually too because we're talking 2000 what 6 maybe or 7, something like that, and
5,
ish.
something like that.
Probably. But there was still this
6.
male hierarchy that she had to sort of try to punch through, and there was some pushback as far as what kind of role she would play on the squad, and I wanted her to be my acting supervisor, and it was my fucking squad, so I said goes. But it was amazing to me that still I'm not going to use the word misogynistic because it's used way too much. Just a tradition, I guess. And she turned out to be one of the best, most competent officers and supervisors that I've ever worked with. And I didn't need to do anything to convince the other men who were complaining because they saw themselves the uh, the ability she had, and that I think, for lack of a better term, she shut them up herself. I didn't do shit. So it was
Yeah.
really, it was, like I said, surprising but satisfying in the end.
Yeah. Now, I know you guys are hearing him call me Sheila.
Oh yeah.
I'm Sheila. I don't usually use my real name on here. So, but I'm Sheila.
I hope that's okay. That's all I know you
That's all
as.
right. That's all right. I don't normally, you know, but
I'll
yeah,
try to.
it's
I'll,
okay.
I'll watch myself. Okay.
No, it is okay. A lot of people don't know my real name, so I was letting them know he's talking about me.
I even know how it's spelled.
I know, right? Everybody's spelling. Hi, Mandy. So, a lot of a lot of the people you see in the comments are long time friends of mine for years. Well, Angie, of course,
Right.
um, Mandy, Missy, and Uncle Junior. He's actually my online husband. So if people come in and they're trying to be perverted or, he takes care of it.
It's good to get somebody looking out.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, we are all very silly. Uh, Missy lives in Massachusetts. Uncle is in Arkansas. So
Arkansas,
they're,
that's where Bobby Haynes was from. You remember him, Bobby Haynes?
I don't know.
All right, then don't.
I
If
don't
you
think
don't,
so.
if I mention that name and does it immediately come to your mind, then don't worry, because he was that kind of guy. You would definitely remember him. No big deal. I bet Angie
So
does.
Angie probably does.
Yeah, for sure.
We miss you too, Angie. I know Angie actually came here to visit, and she was here in the same room with me on the podcast one night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm the crazy uncle they warned you about. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, gosh, I tell funny stories, but I'm to the point where I tell the same ones all the time. Uh-oh. Hi, Kyle. I think he hit the wrong button. Where did he go? Oh, yeah, but Tampa's still far away. Where did he go? Uh-oh. He can follow the same link to come in, though. He should be back. Anyway. Oh, there he is. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm just trying to figure things out. I want to be able to chat, but I've got to. It looks like add my YouTube account to it in order to join the
Yes.
chat. Well,
Yeah,
that
no.
I will. I'm trying to do now, but if I do, it ends up taking me off the.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
If they say something, I'll tell you what they're saying. It's okay.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Um, Angie says she'll be in Tampa the last week of August, but Tampa's still so far away. And no, you're in. What the hell just happened again? Wait a minute. I think Todd lives in Tampa. If I remember. We're going to get it straight. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, because you went black again. Now,
I'm
you're
trying to
in
figure out how
Tampa,
to
right?
get. I can't get my speaker to work now. I'm sorry, CC. I'm trying.
It's okay. He'll get it figured out. Oh, okay. Hold on a minute. How do I, wait a minute. Now he's got two. He does. Okay. He's figuring it all out. I'll let him figure it out. So how's everybody? It was working fine until he started pushing stuff. Okay. There, how's that? You there? Is that better?
I am. I can't hear you on my headset, but I can hear you on the iPad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whatever it takes. Apologize about that. I'll figure it out for next time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. Until you started pushing stuff, it was working fine.
Yep, I started fucking around with the buttons. That's usually how things go to shit. Okay, so what were we talking about?
So I was telling them that I was basically saying that I've told my funny stories, and now they just kind of keep hearing the same funny stories over and over. So it'll be nice to hear someone else like confirm the story I've told or tell new ones.
Well, have you told the story of the coconuts fight?
No.
Then you get bit and other people went to coconuts for a fight.
Oh,
Had to fight a lady. She bit you and ended up fucking biting or scratching or kicking everybody else around her.
She kicked what's his name in the face.
Gus.
And I saw her kick him in the face.
Okay.
So I ran up and I yanked the bitch and I threw her in the fucking back of the car. So he had her down in the back of the car and I ran to the other side and I was trying to pull her through.
Right.
And she
got you on the arm. Yeah, I remember because I went to the hospital with you. Yeah.
It's right here. She fucking bit me through my uniform shirt. Yeah. I have a fucking scar. Through my uniform shirt.
I remember.
I did lay a couple on her with my elbow though, when nobody was looking.
Well, I mean, I would expect that from anybody. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because I ended up speaking to I don't know what they called themselves, hazmat or some shit from Key West that night. Because the human bite is the dirtiest, most bacteria infested bite you can get. So immediately I've been calls from Key West. I remember that, yeah. Because that's like right out of roll call or something. It's kind of early on.
Yeah, it was still daylight.
Was it still daylight?
Yep. Yeah, because I was behind the car when I turned. He was yelling at her, and she kicked him up and kicked him in the face. And I went, "Try that on me!" Bam! Body slammed that bitch in the back.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. I think the phone call came from Gus. You need to come.
That's who she kicked.
I'm like, what? What's going on? She's beat up everybody. She even bit Sheila. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I don't say that because that's the word he used. I'm like, what? So I ended up showing up there, and she was properly restrained time I got there, but it was like everybody had some type of injury or something to complain about regarding this lady's behavior. She was just a fucking whack job. She
was drunk, and they were trying to kick her out of the bar.
Yeah, I had a guy with her. Yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't. Maybe he was fighting with her or something. He was trying to get her to leave, or I don't know. I know she got kicked out of the bar though.
Right, I do remember that. That was a crazy evening because I never expected so quickly out of roll call to be doing officer injury paperwork. I think, what the fuck? But okay, she took a beating. She got what she gave, so that's all right.
Yeah.
Man. She went to the hospital too. That's all that matters.
Who was that blonde-haired cop? The female. Remember? She came down from Ocean Reef.
Oh, is that Laura McGalla? Ted McGalla's
She didn't do a fucking thing. She stood right there and did nothing.
If I can, I'm gonna I'm going to relay something to you about Laura. Do you remember Don Dalton?
Yep.
Don worked for me for a long time, with me for a long time. We were working on Alamorada, and I knew Don had a. Oh, I'm not going to go into all that.
Right. Yeah.
Don would stop as a detective before he got busted down to Sector 6. And he'd stop at the liquor store at the Sam's or some other shit in Homestead there, because he lived in, Keys Gate.
Yeah.
He would take his shit off, put it in the trunk. When he bought his liquor or whatever, he'd put it in the trunk, lock it, get in his car, and drive home. Laura happened to see him one day. And instead of just talking to him, ratted him out. And it was within 2 months, because the department putting pressure on him for this or that, that he died.
I know he passed. Yes.
It's just the circumstances. So yeah, that's the girl you're talking about, Laura McGowan.
Yeah.
She's fucking worthless.
Yeah,
Just
she was.
worthless. Well, yeah. Now you're talking about
I even yelled.
Laura.
I even got in her face
That night. Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was like, I raised my hands. She was up into the car door, right? When I was in the car door, and she wasn't helping. Like, she wouldn't even help when we were on the other side. She just stood there. So after we finally got the bitch in the car, I went up to her and I was like, what the fuck were you doing, you fucking idiot? You fucking help your deputies? Like, I was mad.
Good for you.
I was
She had
mad.
no way to defend herself, I'm sure. Well, good for you. Yeah, it's unfortunate. People group cops, all as into one category, and usually we're all assholes. But what you need to understand is the same as in the corporate or the private sector, there are also those who are just sneaking by under the radar, doing nothing but gaining all the benefits too.
Yeah.
And she was one of those. She's one of those. No, she was the furthest thing from a cop that a real cop could ever think about. But anyways.
God.
That conversation took a
I
shit.
worked my ass off down there. I was always making cases. Me and Mark Easty was always trying to fucking outdo one another and who could write the most tickets.
You mentioned you were there for 8 years. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I went down there in 04 and I left there in 12.
I thought you were there much longer than that.
Hi, Trauma. Now, Trauma is a good friend of mine. She's in Ohio, and she's been down here. And she's been my friend for about 8 years. And she does training for cops and everything as first responders, like mass, shootings and stuff like that. So she does all that training. I didn't want to desert y'all, but there was nothing down there left for me. So once I got my stripes, I stayed there for a little bit once I got my stripes, but then I was just kind of homesick.
Well, you got to do what's right for you, though. If that's the right move for you, then I just
went back to West Palm.
Like you were there longer, but I remember meeting you the first time in Marathon when I was in the unit, and from that time till us end up working together in Key Largo, I thought it was much longer than 8 years, but evidently I wasn't correct.
Yeah, I came down there in April of 2004 from Belglade Police, and I left there. Belglade
Police, okay.
Yeah, and I left there in 2012 and went back to West Palm Beach, and I got on at North Palm Beach.
What brought you down there? I'm just curious.
That's where I used to vacation all the time. So I was like, fuck it. Let's go try to work where I'm at all the time. I want to be there all the time. So
I'm just curious because it's not a place people particularly tend to target as part of their career path.
Yeah.
Unless there's some other motivating factor, unless there's something else out there.
Yeah. Well, I moved down there with someone. And it didn't work out from the get-go because he had started drinking real bad. So then I ended up just being single the whole time I was there.
Okay. All right. Except for
Yeah.
Keith.
Oh,
Sorry. I'm just playing. We can move right on from
okay. So I was talking to Perez the other night, and
that.
he told me, who was it? He told me that he thought I dated Kyle. And I was like, ugh.
Yikes. Kyle Page.
God, no. Okay. Absolutely not. I said, but I did date the guy with the flames. I said, I can't even remember his fucking name, but I did go out with the guy. This guy's name was I know, Angie. You talking about Kyle? Kyle's still down there too, I think.
It is amazing to me. He still has a job as big of a misogynist. I mean, he's like the fucking
He's
picture
weird.
in Webster's. If you look up misogynist, he's in the courthouse in PK. Yeah, that's where he works right now.
Oh,
But he is
okay.
just such a fucking. But anyways,
He was such a perv.
Oh yeah. The women are
My-
nothing but objects. Yeah, absolutely. He don't care.
I reported him that time. I reported him.
Did you?
I went to Eric Mixon. I sure did.
Yeah, he don't give a shit. He don't give a shit about nothing. Feels
Anyway,
like
there's no way I could not have I couldn't. I really just
no,
couldn't stand
that's
him.
not you. That's definitely not you.
But I don't know why the fuck I would. His name was Keith anyway, and he had these on both wrists. They were flames. I don't know. I guess it was a phase I went through or something. I don't know. I must have just been.
You can be careful.
For a while or something.
You can't look back at the things you did and try to measure them with the measuring stick that you have now. It's just it is what it is. You don't fuck with yourself like that. It just is what it is. We make flamer mistakes. It happens.
You're right, Uncle. Uncle said here. I can do this. Hold on. This is what Uncle says. Can you see that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. The only reason I would disagree with that particular statement is I don't think he's smart enough to know how to do it. I don't think he could figure that out on his own. It's very funny. He just is not smart.
Yes. So I know he left the Keys.
He did.
And he ended up going to Alabama or something.
No, Indianapolis.
Okay, yeah.
Where he's still there now, actually.
Is he still a cop?
He is a cop.
Wow.
He's in their traffic division. And he's got, I don't know, 5 years ish to go, something like that, to meet his retirement. But yeah, he's still on the job.
Is he still with that same girl that he married down there?
No, they ended up getting divorced after they went up there because she was not faithful. But he does have a different wife who they have one child with, and he seems to be doing okay. So,
well, let me tell you, that child was a hell of a swimmer. Okay, because
okay, Jesus Christ. Here I am guarding my words. Jesus Christ. That's fucked up. Fucked up.
It's gonna be a strong kid.
Yeah. Goddamn Michael Phelps of the semen world.
If you tell me his son's name is Michael, I'm gonna die.
No, it's a girl, actually.
Oh, okay.
A little girl.
Oh my Lord.
Are you
right.
retired now, right?
I am, as July 4th.
July 4th. Oh, great day.
My neck surgery put me out 2 years early.
How many?
2. I was going to retire in 26. Okay. July 6th of 26 is going to be when I was retired. But then my neck surgery put me out 2 years early.
Okay. Well, good for you. Good for you.
So, but I'm only like 2.5 hours north of you. I'm here in Live Oak.
Live Oak. Okay, so it's more towards the center of the state and above.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm way up here by Georgia.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm right between Tallahassee and Jacksonville.
I-10, that area?
Yes, right on I-10.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's I'm glad to hear that. I had all these high hopes for retirement, and like I
Yeah.
said, Irene destroyed everything I had, so I decided to leave. 6 months later, aggressive cancer, and then I dealt with that bullshit for 3 years. Then I quadruple bypass a year and a half ago. So
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
yeah, I'm only saying that to say this. It's good to be retired, but it's funny how your the best laid plans of mice and men, as Shakespeare would say,
Yeah.
they're easily derailed. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. It's just it depends on the person or what's going to happen. The universe,
Yeah.
sort of taking its pound of flesh or whatever, but. I'm glad to hear that
So
you're going. How did you mess up your neck? Actually, I noticed that you pointed at that.
it's just it was wear and tear. So I had to
Really?
have 5 and 6 fused. Yeah.
Oh, you had your vertebrae fused.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you probably don't know. So the property I have 8 acres here.
Right.
And the original house on the property was out there, but they let it go to hell. So when I bought it, it was too expensive for me to try to fix it. So it sat there and sat there and sat there. And then one day I walked in there and it was just full of black mold. And I'm like, oh, this has got to go. It was a 2-story house. And I tore that fucker down piece by piece by myself and burnt it as I went along. And it's gone.
You that's fucking amazing. But on the same note, it doesn't surprise me at all. Doesn't surprise me at all. No, to be as the kind of person that you are, you doesn't surprise me at all. Good for you. Good for you.
So none of these people have ever. They've heard me tell stories. They never really knew how I was to work with.
Okay. What would you like to hear?
I don't know. So I will retell the story now that you're in here. So I've told them the story when I was on a traffic stop at around mile marker 97, 98 northbound side. I wrote the guy a ticket. I walked back into my car. There were 2 bees in my car. So I got out of my car and I told you guys, I called my sergeant and I said, just get here quick. And I hung up on him.
Do you remember that phone call?
Yeah. So he can take over the story now.
She didn't give me much information. And when I knew it couldn't be that bad because she said she was on a traffic stop. So she was in a position of advantage if someone was still there. When I came up behind, I noticed nobody was in front of her. So I'm wondering about the traffic stop part. And then she's out of her car looking like into her driver's side or going around to the passenger side. Like, what the and she tells me there's bees. There's bees in her car. And I didn't know what to do. And what I didn't want to do was just brush it off. So I remember saying, well, let's just make sure that all windows are open and they'll fly out on their own. And I remember you using some piece of paper to sort of like.
No, you did.
Oh, was that me?
I made him get in I was like, you got to kill it.
Right.
He got in my car and used my clipboard. And it was the funniest thing because here he is, and all you could hear was bam, bam.
Well, yeah. And I was trying to be careful because I know how easy it is to break a windshield, having been involved in that in the past. So I do remember that. But yeah, I remember. I thought it was you that rushed them out of the car, but I do remember.
Nope.
I was just
Then-
confused, and again too, I was trying not to be a misogynist, a fucking guy. Get in the car and take care of the beaches. I was trying to be polite, but it just the antics just seemed to never end when it came to DC. It's never ended.
I
What?
broke him in well.
Oh yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I did.
The night at Burton Church, I must say, I've never seen anybody move like. All she did was feel this spider web, and it probably just one strand, but lost her fucking mind, dancing around like something I'd never seen before, kicking her legs up and flailing her arms over her head. And I was like, whoa, what? A spider, and a spider web or whatever she was saying. Anyways, it was always something different. Always. But then again, too, I could count on her because there were times when, I remember actually we handled a sex abuse case at one point, sort of directly across from the office, and I did want you to be the one to interview. Not necessarily because you're a woman, but because the victim was a child, a female child, and she had a way of, no matter how crazy with the bees or spider webs, or she could calm shit down and just speak to her and talk like she's talking to a friend and handle business. I mean, to be that versatile, because a lot of women cops want to feel like they need the masculine edge, and in some cases that might be true, but you can't walk around like that, or you lose all respect for who you're working with. You be masculine when it comes to fight, but you be yourself when it comes to talking to victims of such type of crime. Anyway, she was. I almost said Sheila. Cece was always able to give me what I needed when it came to what I asked her for, no matter how difficult that may have been, how outside of her normal realm that could have been. She was always right there and never disappointed me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's gonna make me fucking cry.
I'm trying to make sure.
But no, we would go. It doesn't matter. We could be over here chuckling, laughing, fucking with people, and then a serious call, and we will switch them on in a second, and we would go off to the next one. And then if one of us had to handle something that upset us, we knew exactly how to talk each other down. Or
There was a time, a particular several weeks, maybe a month or two, where we all gave each other superhero names, and
yes,
I don't think it wasn't my idea. It was the crew's idea, but I was very impressed with that, and everything I felt a leader needed to be is just to be there to provide the people a way to get the job done. They came up with names or whatever, and I was so impressed with that. And to be told whatever by the bosses, that's a whole different issue. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about we.
it didn't kill our camaraderie.
Nope, not at all. It felt good when we were riding around with them fucking license plates on our cars, but
Yeah,
it,
we had license plates made up with everyone's superhero name, because let me tell you something. People were jealous of our squad. We had the best squad. We handled business. We never had to. It didn't matter what it was.
And that's what's important to understand too. That I don't know if that goes on these days anymore, because I have no idea about law enforcement these days. I know back in those days, for as long as I could remember, I was on a crew of guys that if shit needed to be handled, we'd get a phone call, we'd take a meeting, handle our business,
Yeah.
and under the radar, and that's it. And when I got my crew and they gave me the gift of being superheroes. That's how they felt about our camaraderie. I
Yeah.
thought we had reached the pinnacle right there, So
Yeah.
that's always going to be there. There's always going to be people who you may not like, but if you need something handled, that's who you're going to call. And I'm sure it's still that way to this day, but it is what it is. I don't give a shit. I think we did well. We did very well.
Which trauma? I'm trying to remember what little girl floating. Because I had a lot of floaters down there. I'm not. God, do you remember when they found that lady that was under the bridge that was tied up with the phone cord? It was floating.
And I don't remember anybody
No.
tied up with her. I remember a lady being found under her dock. That was.
Oh no, this was under a bridge.
Yeah, no.
And when they pulled her out, they found that she was. Oh no, she wasn't. Oh, floating. He didn't know about that. I don't think. It was when I saw my first ghost down there.
I'm sorry.
No Name Key.
You were working at No Name Key?
As a detail. It was me and it was Henry Del Valle. Okay. And I was doing an off-duty detail when they were doing a commercial on the No Name Bridge.
I've never heard of that story.
Oh, well, no, No Name Key is haunted.
I've heard those rumors. I've been there mainly on the bike, never working, but I've been to No Name Key. I've heard those rumors that it's haunted. And
she walked up to my car.
I'm sorry, a dead person walked up to your car?
The ghost. I was there watching a movie.
Right.
And I thought the little girl was walking up to me because she snuck out or something. So I got out to talk to her. And she wouldn't talk to me. So I was trying to get her to write it down, like what she looks like. And I looked down and her fucking feet are 6-8 inches off the ground, hovering.
Really?
So I jump in my car, and as I'm driving off, she disappears. Poof. So I haul ass to the other side of the bridge to talk to Henry. He goes, "You saw her, didn't you?" I was like, "What?"
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, I thought I told you that story.
That's something I've never heard before.
Oh my God.
I've got one ghost stories, but I've never heard that one. Again, like I said, I've heard the general description of No Name Key being haunted. And there's ghosts out here, but never a specific of like a young girl.
It ended up being there was a girl that had been kidnapped and raped and drugged miles behind a vehicle and was found out there. And it ended up being her because it's not solved yet.
Right. Oh my God.
So she goes up to the police cars
to try to solve her own murder?
Yes. She keeps trying to go to, well, Henry told me he used to do his reports over there. And this girl walked up to his car and he won't go over there. He goes, "Why do you think I put you on that side?" Fuck.
What?
I didn't believe in ghosts before that.
That's a cool story. I've never heard that one before. That's awesome.
I've been fascinated since. Why do you think I'm a ghost hunter now?
That incident caused you to be a ghost hunter?
That was the first thing that ever made me, what is a ghost? I'm fascinated now and I have to know more.
No kidding. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm Private Eye Paranormal.
Well, let me ask you this. Before then, was there anything supernatural that caught your attention? Was
Before that incident? No.
So that was like the nucleus of.
Yep.
No shit.
That's cool. About needed a diaper that night.
Yeah, I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool.
Here, let me put up what Angie wrote.
Oh, okay.
Drug behind vehicle with adult
Adult
Lisa.
Lisa.
Yes, yes, was adult. That was her name. That was the ghost's name. She was drugged behind the vehicle. That was her name.
Lisa Sanders is the girl's name from No Name
That's
Key.
the ghost. Yes.
You know, it's also the girl, white lady from Hibiscus Park that ran Hardee's and was
Different car. Totally different guy. Totally different girl.
Okay. I've never heard it before.
Yeah, because it was Wilkinson, right? Wilkinson?
Mike?
Yeah. Wilkinson worked it. Worked at the body being found. Yeah.
Mike Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So that's why I've been fascinated with ghosts ever since then, because I can't believe I was looking at her and I didn't pay attention. You know how No Name Key is completely dark?
Oh, yeah.
It
Yeah,
is dark. There's no lights.
Once you get past the bridge, there's no electricity at all.
Right. I was looking at her like I was looking at you right now, but there was no lights and it didn't click to me. How can I see her? It did not click to me. How can I see her plain as day? She was wearing a white shirt with blue jeans and long brown hair and was barefooted.
Wow.
I'll never forget it.
You know what? That's cool. I mean, I know it could be disheartening or it's awful for the victim, but that's fucking cool. That's very cool.
I would like to go back now that I'm a ghost hunter and I have the ghost hunting equipment. I would like to go back and try to make contact with her.
And so you were just parked like in a parking lot listening to your phone?
So Henry, they were doing a commercial on the No Name Key Bridge. So they put a deputy on either end of the bridge to watch their equipment overnight. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was on that side and Henry was on the other side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should go back down there.
Yeah, that's like a 12-hour drive, though.
Fuck, if she approached you, yeah, then you may be the one that she would come to again.
No, but she goes to all the cops that go back there, though. She'll walk up to a patrol car. I won't be in a patrol car if I go back down there.
No, but I'm saying if she's come up to you in the past, maybe gives you a little better shot of, that's pretty cool.
Hold on. That was when homicide team formed. Yes. Okay. And then she's Sherry Perishing, little girl, then Lisa. I'd have to look it up. I don't know about the Sherry Perishing one. I'm going to write that down. Find a piece of paper. Here's my notebook. Okay. Sherry Perishing. Anyway, okay. I'll look it up.
That's interesting.
Lisa's solved now? When did they solve it? Well, I'm the one that's unsolved is the one that I saw. Oh. Well, I might be thinking that's the wrong thing. The one I know, she had been drugged behind a vehicle. And then they dumped her body in a ditch. And it was like a week later, somebody was back there playing with their dogs and the dogs found the body back there.
Of the little girl?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
But the little girl, she was probably 12 maybe that walked up to my car, if that. Oh no, this was a little girl with long hair.
Interesting and unfortunate, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get back to the fun stuff. I'm trying to think of some other funny stuff.
Did Darnell tell you about the time we broke up a underage party at the condos at the 97 across from Shell World or whatever? It was one of the first nights of me working with you guys, and we got a call of an underage party, underage kids drinking, and we showed up, and it was up one flight of stairs, so we took a flight of stairs, and somebody was holding the door open, some young girl. So we're like, hey, how's it going? And kids drinking. No, 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 no. We're making sure only adults are drinking. And so you might have to come in. No, come on in. So we walk in. There's fucking booze everywhere. Fucking everywhere. I'm shaking my head like, oh my holy God. So I said, this is an awful lot of liquor. You guys must be pretty well off. You got a lot of money. The girl pipes up, no, it's my birthday. I said, oh, honey, it's your birthday. Congratulations. How old are you? She said, 19. I said, you're not old enough for this liquor, are you? She just fucking shut her mouth. And Darnell looked at her, then looked at me, looked at her, looked at me, just shook his head. So it was kind of funny. Darnell never seen me. We'd never worked together before. And it's just a matter of acting like we're friends. Oh, that's great. Happy birthday. How old are you? 19. You're not old enough for all this alcohol, are you? So that we had a lot of fun with for a long time. It took us fucking 3 hours to inventory all the booze, but it was just fun though. It was one of those. I think from that point on, he respected me a bit, at least
Yeah.
to say that I knew what I was doing. I wasn't just a fucking out of the way DEI hire like there is these days. And then the amount of times I got drawn into the captain lieutenant's office off of our work, I can remember 3 times specifically where like, well, you guys, they didn't like the decisions that I made. One was a fight at Cactus Jack's, and there's some other altercations. And how can you make this decision because you can't prove it? Yes, I can prove something. I got a statement from a bartender. Well, the bartenders don't count. So I thought that was funny. So, what do you mean,
Why
bartender?
wouldn't
One was a fight at Cactus Jack's where some guy busted out a bunch of windows. And they didn't like the fact that I authorized the arrest of the kid the bartender pointed out as being the fuckwit who busted out the windows. And they're questioning me as to why. I said, well, the bartender said he did it. Well, you have a statement from the bartender? Yes. Well, still, that's not enough. So, turns out that kid's parents had money. They were staying at the Key Largo Marriott next door. So, it was just, I don't know if I should be airing this shit out, if I should be complaining, but it was, I have to say that I felt good about what we did because I trusted you guys. You
Yeah.
guys trusted me, and I trusted you, and we did our shit, and that was that. And it's funny that these days people take offense to that, but we had a good time. Remember the Thanksgiving we had?
God, which one? We were together for years.
I know I remember I guess maybe it's the first one where we brought in all the Thanksgiving
Yeah.
accoutrement, stuffing and mashed potato. That to me was the coolest thing ever because
Yeah.
that was a first for me in
Mhm.
almost 20 some years of being on the job. Was a
Mhm.
crew getting together and having
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. I thought it was awesome. So
Yeah.
great.
Well,
Remember?
yeah, that's that that's what people don't understand. When you work with someone like that, you work so closely and know everything about one another. You have to be willing to take a bullet for these people.
Mm-hmm. And there are crews that aren't. That's what's scary.
There's crews that do not. Now,
Yeah.
I here's the thing though. I got along like when I first got my stripes, Darnell wasn't happy.
Oh, yeah?
Darnell wasn't happy that I got my stripes.
Well, he wasn't happy that you were my age slash either.
I know. But he learned he finally came around. He finally came around because I made him my A slash. And if y'all don't know what A slash, okay, so an A slash is an acting sergeant. So if the sergeant is busy or off or sick or busy on a phone call, the acting sergeant can make the decision as if it were coming from the sergeant.
Right.
So when he was my sergeant, I was his acting sergeant. So if he was busy on another call, say him and Darnell were over on another call and they need a supervisor, which is an acting sergeant would be the same as a corporal anywhere else.
Right. Right.
It would be the same thing. They don't call them corporals down south. They call them acting sergeants or A slash. But then when I got my stripes, I made Darnell my A slash, and he was happy with that.
It's sometimes a matter of pride, and that's usually on an individual basis. Why a particular person would take offense to someone else being appointed acting supervisor over them.
Mm-hmm.
But once you if they respect the boss enough, then they're going to do what the A slash tells them because it's the boss's decision to make that person an A slash.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that takes a little bit of work, a little bit of grooming, you might say. But any good officer who respects his boss and wants to do his job well will bend to the will of his boss. And I don't know. I know that there was one particular time that I got out of town for a period of time, and CC was my acting. And when we came back, we had an actual fucking squad meeting because people were bitching that she wasn't doing what she thought I should be doing. And I'm like, you fucking guys, you don't know what she's doing. So you just do what you're told and leave it. You don't have any say. And once you get that across to somebody that they don't have any say, they've got two ways to go. They'll either bend to your will or they'll be assholes and they're going to be impossible to fucking supervise no matter who comes across them. And luckily, the guys that were on my crew realized I put Sheila in charge for a reason. I trust her judgment. You do what she says. And actually, after that particular squad meeting, or I call it, things worked out fine. So, and I'm look at
And
you.
they never said anything to me about it. They never said anything to me about it.
Right now. Is Sheila the kind of person you're gonna fucking want to argue with? No, she's crazy. No, Sheila, what she did. She, the best part about Sheila is she's knowledgeable, she's intelligent, and she has common sense. And I can't ask for anything more than that when it comes to a supervisor. She's got common sense and she's smart. The rest of it,
yeah, I only show that when I need to, though.
yeah, it's like a superpower because common sense is like such a superpower these days. No one has it. Yeah. She knows what's up.
Oh, I do miss it though. So I was up here. I worked in this county, and
Which is what county?
I was Swanee County Sheriff.
Oh, Swanee County. Okay.
Yeah, but I left the sheriff's office and went to Department of Ag. So I was state officer, and I hated it.
Yeah.
Hey, Topher. It's another person coming in. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. But then I had the surgery and I ended up retiring. But I do miss the job.
The job as you remember it.
Yes. I do miss the job the way it was. So these days, you just can't be a cop anymore.
No. I was so glad I left when I did, and I will never go back. I loved what I did for when I did it. I'll never go back again.
And how long were you on for?
28 years.
Yeah, I was at 24.
I got 3
24.
years low risk and 25 years high risk. So,
Yeah.
and you know what?
Com-
I like to think that this, like any other job, people will miss working with who they did and the environment in which they worked. Those are all great. But as all of us
yeah.
know, that shit doesn't stay the same. You
Mm-hmm.
know? And I was recently involved in a crash where someone crashed into the back of me.
Mm-hmm.
And the cops that came and medics that came, very nice, very competent, very good people, but they're
Mm-hmm.
just it's like talking to kindergarten kids. They're so young, and
Yeah.
again, they were great. Once they found out I was an ex-cop, they were fucking awesome. But they're
Mm-hmm.
just children, you know. And can you imagine having to? I just, I mean, we've all seen the videos talking to people who are obviously and vehemently wrong, but you must placate them like they're children just to be
Mm-hmm.
nice. When you should just fucking yoke them by the fucking collar, slam them on the ground, lock them the fuck up, throw them in the back seat. Yeah, keep on running your fucking jibs. Good. How's that feel now? You know, but we can't do that anymore. So it's
I tell
unfortunate.
you what, I will say one thing.
What?
Whenever you and I went to a call together,
Oh my god. Yeah, there was
we
always a
were
potential.
scrapping.
Yep, there was
We
always a
were
potential. Yeah. Oh shit! I thought of this earlier. I wanted to mention it real quick. I know you're about done.
no, we're not done.
It's almost done. I thought. Anyways, remember we went to a domestic in an apartment, 100
Yeah.
mile marker, almost right behind Frank Key's Cafe, where a pregnant girl was upset about being abused by her boyfriend. Just wanted her shit to wanted him to get his shit and get out. So we got this guy in the kitchen. He's got a baseball cap on, and he's just running his mouth about us not being able to do anything. And I asked him, "Did you fucking smack your girlfriend? Why the fuck do you think we're here?" Yeah, that's what he said. So I smacked him in the back of the head, knocked him into Darnell. He pushed him off onto you. You smacked him down one step to the floor. Lance grabbed him, threw him out the fucking front door to the camp. I mean, that is one of my. I still tell that story. One of my favorite stories of all time.
It was just one right after. He just kept going.
What'd you do? Yeah. Pow! I was fucking bounced that prick like a pinball machine off 5 different cops till they got outside the fucking front door. That's one of my favorite fucking stories. I love that story.
I don't know if you remember this one. So we were at a fight. There was I can't remember where exactly it was though. Shit. It was out. Anyway, we were outside. This guy kept pissing Darnell off. He was pissing you off. You had somebody over here. You were talking to him. I said, don't take your hands off of the back of this car. You understand me? If you take your hands on the back of this car, I'm going to make you eat the concrete. I was like, Darnell, can you watch him for me, please? I was trying to get the information from this dingbat over here. This guy was running off at the mouth, and Darnell's just sitting there, standing there, and he took one hand off of that car. And I went, excuse me. I put my thing in the back. I went over and I went, bam!
No shit.
And Darnell was like, I was like, I told you if you took your hand off that car. Darnell
Very
was
nice.
like,
Very nice.
and the guy was like, I underestimated you. I'm sorry. I was like, what did I fucking tell you? It's like, I don't fucking play.
That's what I mean. The difference between then and now, you know?
Yeah.
Now they let him go on for 20 minutes. Back then, we gave him one fucking chance. And if you don't cooperate, then here comes your consequences.
Yep.
Such a difference. Such a difference.
Yeah. You can't
We
do
had
that
fun
now.
back then. Yeah. No,
It
we
was
had
fun.
such fun back then too, though. Such fun. Anyways,
Yeah.
a bunch of
It was
cops talking about back in the
I,
day.
I couldn't imagine why what's her name and Nancy Alvarez. I couldn't imagine why they hated me.
Nancy hated everybody.
Okay, so y'all, Nancy Alvarez, you didn't know which eye to look at. She's one of those that does that.
Oh my God.
You didn't know what eye to look at.
Nice.
So she finally got dumped by her husband, though.
I did hear that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
out time he got smart. But the other one, the Sergeant Greenwood, she didn't like me either. But she didn't like me because I was a female that actually worked.
Yeah, she was not in that category with you.
Mm-mm.
Susan Greenwood, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was a piece. She actually pulled me over one time when I was working narcotics. I was on my way back from a deal to the office, and she stopped me. So I didn't have a bad guy in the car or anything. I just started fucking with her. Let me see your driver's license. No. Yeah. Let me see your insurance. No. Who the fuck are you? None of your fucking business. Started getting her just 38 hot. Then my partner, of course, Al, pulls up beside. Says, "Hey, Sarge. Hey, you know this guy?" He said, "Yeah, he's my partner." She looked at me. She said, "Why you say those things to me?" It's because you fucking piss me off. You're mean. Oh. From that point forward, she's been nothing but nice to me. Now, maybe that's what it takes to get. I don't need to be on a good side, but just for her to understand that she can't be a fucking cunt every time she talks to somebody.
She is.
It was just funny. Oh, okay, then never mind. Poor thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tried so hard to be nice to her.
She's just impossible to be nice to. It's impossible. She's got this chip on her shoulder. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. She's got a chip on her shoulder.
And I've heard, I left there in 12. So it's been a long time. But, like I follow Monroe County on the Facebook and I follow Rick. And when I was down there, Rick was still just the undersheriff.
All right.
He's the sheriff now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've spoken to him a couple times because I wanted one of those coins.
Right.
And I asked him how much, if I sent him, he goes, "Don't you worry about it. I'll get one sent to you right now." So he didn't let me pay for it. He got it in the mail next day. So, and he told me if I ever wanted a job, I had one waiting for him as long as he was sheriff. So that made me feel good.
Yeah. He's
So.
a good dude. I got no problem with Rick at all. I have no problem with him at all. We have our own kind of understanding about things, and I've got no problem with Rick whatsoever. And you see, he went skydiving the other day.
Yes, I saw his post. Yes,
man, I was very surprised about that. But good for him. Fucking white. Don't catch me skydiving.
It is funny though. I mean, maybe we shouldn't, but I'm going to. Anyway, so back when I was still in Marathon, I remember that Joel Slough had this cute little girlfriend. They were together for a long, 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 long time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it was Joel. Anyway, no. Let me back up. It was Rick that had the girlfriend, and Joel took the girlfriend from Rick.
Yes. I was
having to get it straight.
Yeah.
Yes, so I remember that, and I remember Rick telling me one time, because whenever I would be working and Rick would come out, because I appreciated when Rick would come out and hunt drugs with us. It was amazing that the undersheriff would do that. And we would 56. And he told me, I think that's wrong. You don't ever take another deputy's, you don't mess with the cops, with their women, and you don't do that. And then he went and did it. He took Deputy Johnson's wife from him, and now he's married to her. Yep. After he said, "No, I don't believe in all that. That's wrong."
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, I got no problem with Rick. He's he got his own way of thinking about things, and
Yeah.
I'm not in any kind of a way to be convincing him any different. But
Yeah.
you
They
do.
just trading them out down there.
It's never you never lose your woman, just your turn.
That's right. That's right.
All right, girl, I'm gonna go. I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up early in the morning.
Okay. I thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I had a good time, and I'll be glad to come on again at some point whenever you like.
I would absolutely love to have you. And you guys, thank you so much for coming. And I will be talking to you soon, Todd. And
All
I
right.
love you guys. I love you, Todd. And we
Good
will
to see
chat
you,
soon.
DC. You take care of yourself.
Love you.
Bye.
Good night, guys. I will be live on Clapper for just a little while longer. Thanks for joining.